This case has never been about politics or personal vendetta or about name-calling.
The rule of law applies to all of us, equally, fairly, and justly. And former presidents are no exception.
New York Attorney General Letitia James bragging today about the multi-million-dollar penalty imposed on former President Donald Trump. Tweeting just the number. Her anti-Trump Twitter followers, of course, celebrating it, predictably clapping seals. A move that seems more like a campaign post than that of a dispassionate, just DA who just wants to get to the bottom of it.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets. We are prepared to make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers. And yes, I look at 40 Wall Street each and every day.
This is basically communism here, seizing your assets for opposing the regime, isn't it, Robert?
That's exactly what it is. And in fact, you had Washington political consultants today putting out circulating reports at places like Predicted and others that this would also handicap Trump's ability to fund his own campaign. That this is an attempt not only to bankrupt a political opponent, but deny him campaign funds so that he can compete for the presidential election. We have never experienced anything like this in history. And that's what makes it so dangerous, that this can happen to anybody. If it can happen to Trump, then it's a guarantee it can happen to any ordinary person who just gets sideways with the government politicians in any location. They can seize all your assets. They can steal all your properties. They can deny you a right to appeal, even though you cause no injury to anybody anywhere. This is a classic version of an excessive fine in violation of the 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
You hear those Letitia James comments, because you've been pretty outspoken about all of this and what it might mean for New York and businesses in the recent days. The idea of, we might seize his assets.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, what do you make of that?
So you remember, I have to look at all of this through the lens of being an investor.
Right.
So I don't make money with politics. I make money with policy. So I care about policy. Now, one of the reasons that the United States of America is the magnet for so much sovereign wealth from all around the world is our law, is our justice system, and the perceived fairness of it in every state. And so if you're going to put billions of dollars to work somewhere in the world, the most coveted place to do it is in the United States of America. That is the brand of America. That's what it is. You don't really want to mess with that. You really want to make sure, no matter who you are, and this is not about Trump, this is not about politics, it's about what is America and capital and capitalism. And what does it mean when all of a sudden this starts to happen in any state? Forget about New York. Seizing assets happens in many countries where you wouldn't want to put your money.
Well, now some real estate investors are worried about working in New York City and owning property there. Private equity fund manager and real estate investor Grant Cardone told his employees, quote, immediately discontinue all underwriting on New York City real estate. The risk outweighs the opportunities at this time. Focus on Texas and Florida.
Until this thing is overruled, and I believe it will be, nobody in commercial real estate investing big money. We were going to put $1 billion in New York City this year. We were going to put $1 billion in Chicago, and maybe another $1 billion in Los Angeles, and we won't touch any of them now.
New York was already a loser state. Like California is a loser state. There are many loser states because of policy, high taxes, uncompetitive regulation. It was already on the top of the list of being a loser state. I would never invest in New York now, and I'm not the only person saying that.
Conservative estimates is that this case is going to cost the state of New York $10 billion or more in direct investment over the next 10 years. Because New York's one of its principal areas of investment is real estate. And now you've taken one of its most successful, one of its most prominent people, a person who helped revitalize New York real estate. Downtown New York was not a place to invest until Donald Trump was able to convert certain buildings into successful properties that attracted investment worldwide, all over the world. And if you're anywhere in the world, do you want to risk your money or your assets in a legal system that could steal all of your property, deny you a right to appeal based on nobody suffering any harm of any kind? Nobody wants to do that. I mean, what made America a great place for the whole world to invest was the stability and reliability and transparency and impartiality of our legal system. And they've jeopardized all of it in the name of getting rid of Trump. And by trying to hurt Trump, all they've really done is hurt New York, hurt America, hurt the credibility of our legal system.
Investors don't have to go to New York. They have other choices. And that's clearly what's happening, is people are saying, why go there when there's this kind of risk? And everybody's asking this question: who's next? Because that's the challenge to quell down the concerns people have, not just domestically. This is a global story. This is about the competitiveness of New York State versus other states, and right now it's not looking good for New York.
And we probably won't come to New York City until it becomes trucker friendly. Until you fix your tolls and lower them, until you fix your highways, until you fix the crime. I mean, you guys are protesting, shutting down bridges, leaving us in traffic for 10, 12 hours at a time, with the potential of our vehicles being vandalized. Who wants to be a part of that? I could be strolling across any other interstate in the country safely and delivering loads to people that appreciate it. So until New York City becomes trucker friendly, count me out. And that's all I got to say. I mean, call it what you want to. Call it what you want. Call it a boycott. I'm just not coming until it becomes trucker friendly. And you guys voted for this. You guys voted for this. So you guys voted for all your fantasy rainbow unicorns over your economics. You guys don't hold your leaders accountable. You guys welcome crime. You don't prosecute crime. Why would I want to go to a place where you guys don't even prosecute criminals? So until you guys fix yourself, maybe we can sit down and have a conversation about helping out and making your economy better. Until then, not going to New York.
Well, some of President Trump's supporters are pushing back against what they see as an unfair justice system, threatening a boycott that could have a major impact on the country's largest city. Some truck drivers say they're planning on refusing shipments to and from New York City in protest of that $355 million verdict against the former president in his business fraud trial.
You see, that's my freedom of choice. Just like Chicago Ray or American Trucker, or any of the other truckers that you see posting about this New York City boycott, they are one guy out of an industry of 3.9 million truck drivers that have made a choice to not go to New York. That is their freedom of choice. Nobody is telling anybody that they can't go. Nobody is holding people in handcuffs and saying you can't go. Nobody's telling anybody that you can't do your jobs. That's ridiculous. We are just guys that are standing for our beliefs and our support for President Trump. I suggest you all get behind that freedom, at least.
Everybody, it's Trucker Mark here. I know you guys heard about the boycott against New York City. And what I've got here is a load of groceries. Milk, meat, dairy, yogurt, all kinds of food. Guess where it's not going? You got it. Definitely not going to New York City.
What's going on over there? I'll let him say what he wants to say in his own words. All right, here's one of my brothers.
Yeah, it's all political. It's just to ruin the man as much as possible, discrediting him, and to try to get him either off the ballot or in prison or completely broke or somehow, and because they're scared of him, and they should be, because what they're doing is wrong and they know it. That's all I got to say.
All right, man.